Chelsea's 5-1 demolition of West Ham was surprising not just for the scoreline, but for how it was achieved without their talisman, Cole Palmer. Under Enzo Maresca, the Blues looked sharp, fluid, and explosive. That emphatic score didn't just underline their dominance. It told the story of a team finally striking a balance between individual brilliance and collective strength. Right from the kickoff, Chelsea set the tone. Their high press was relentless, with Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo controlling the midfield and suffocating West Ham's creativity. What stood out most was how the Blues refused to lean on a single playmaker. Instead, their attacking patterns flowed across the pitch, with Malo Gusto and Marc Cucurella stretching the play wide, while Pedro Neto and Estevão brought pace and unpredictability. Chelsea's transitions were quick, direct, and full of intent. But the true hallmark of this performance was teamwork. Without Palmer, Chelsea wasn't waiting for one man to conjure magic. Every player took on responsibility. Robert Sanchez was composed, distributing with precision from the back. Tosin Adarabioyo and Trevoh Chalobah kept things tight defensively, while also stepping up to build play. That composure allowed Chelsea to dictate the tempo and dominate for the full 90 minutes. Up front, Liam Delap caught the eye. No longer an isolated target man, he roamed intelligently, linking up with João Pedro and Estevão. Their chemistry was clear. Pedro dropped deep to drag defenders out of shape. Estevão attacked the spaces with his dazzling dribbles, and Delap picked his moments to hold up play or dart in behind. It was an intelligent adaptation in Palmer's absence. The attack didn't lose fluency, it gained new dimensions. Pedro brought finesse, Estevão brought chaos, and together they stretched West Ham to a breaking point. With Cucurella and Gusto bombing forward, Chelsea had variety. They could slice through the middle, stretch defenses on the flanks, and remain dangerous from set pieces. This was Chelsea playing with confidence, cohesion, and creativity. Without Palmer, they didn't shrink. They looked liberated. Every player stepped up. Every player contributed. For Maresca, that's the most encouraging sign of all. He doesn't just have a star in Palmer. He's building a system where the whole is stronger than the sum of its parts. If this performance is anything to go by, Chelsea might just be turning a corner. In Chelsea's thumping win over West Ham, another detail stood out: their devastating efficiency from set pieces. Of the 5 goals scored, 3 came directly from corners, a statistic that speaks volumes about preparation, planning, and execution. The equalizer in the 15th minute came from a Pedro Neto corner. His in-swinging delivery was flicked on at the near post by Marc Cucurella, before João Pedro timed his leap perfectly to head home. After the break, Chelsea struck again. This time it was Enzo Fernandez who whipped in a corner. West Ham goalkeeper Mads Hermansen flapped, the ball dropped invitingly, and Moises Caicedo hammered it into the roof of the net. Minutes later, another corner sparked chaos in the box. João Pedro used his strength to win the aerial duel, nodding it down for Trevoh Chalobah, who reacted quickest to smash in Chelsea's 5th. This wasn't just about lumping balls into the box and hoping for the best. Chelsea showed intelligence and variety. Players made sharp runs, created space, and ruthlessly exploited West Ham's poor marking and aerial frailties. Every corner felt like a real opportunity, not a 50-50 gamble. That, perhaps, is the biggest takeaway. In games where rhythm stutters or opposition defenses hold firm, set pieces become priceless. They ease pressure, shift momentum, and often decide matches. For Chelsea, this newfound weapon could prove invaluable, especially with new arrivals like João Pedro and trusted lieutenants in defense, all contributing directly to goals from dead ball situations. It's no coincidence either. Since 2024, Chelsea have had Bernardo Cueva, a renowned set-piece specialist previously at Brentford, embedded within Maresca's staff. Cueva is hands-on, designing routines, choreographing runs at the near post, assigning blockers for the goalkeeper, and planning second ball scenarios. On more than one occasion last season, cameras caught him on the touchline flashing signals to players before corners. That level of detail is now paying off. with the West Ham game serving as one of the clearest examples yet. Maresca himself has stressed the importance of set pieces in big matches, pointing out that the difference between Chelsea and elite rivals often lies in small margins, and dead ball efficiency is one of them. It's why the Blues dedicate so much time on the training ground to rehearsing these scenarios over and over again. Still, context matters. West Ham defended dreadfully in the air, and one game alone is not enough to draw sweeping conclusions. The real question is whether Chelsea can sustain this threat against stronger, more disciplined defenses. If they can, it could become a genuine game-changer in the Premier League title race. Arsenal showed last season how much damage a team can do when it lives off set pieces. Not only does it deliver goals, it also creates a psychological edge. The belief that every corner, every free kick, carries the promise of a breakthrough. In Chelsea's clash with West Ham, two Brazilians stole the show. João Pedro, coming off a disappointing debut, exploded into life, while Estevão delivered a performance beyond all expectations, even etching his name into the history books at Stamford Bridge. Against Crystal Palace on opening day, João Pedro was almost invisible. He was shackled by defenders, lacked sharpness, and couldn't provide the spark fans had hoped for. Some even wondered if his dazzling displays at the FIFA Club World Cup were just fleeting moments. But the London derby against West Ham told a very different story. Deployed as a number 10 in place of the injured Cole Palmer, João Pedro was brimming with confidence and energy. His header to level the score at 1-1 not only lifted Chelsea's spirits, but also shifted the momentum of the match. Minutes later, he turned provider with a delicate assist for Pedro Neto, helping the Blues take control. From a player under scrutiny, João Pedro transformed into a driving force, proving his worth as a central figure in Maresca's unpredictable attacking blueprint. If Pedro brought redemption, Estevão brought revelation. Thrust into the starting 11 by accident due to Palmer's absence, the 18-year-old endured a nightmare start, losing the ball deep in his own half and gifting Lucas Paquetá the opener. For most youngsters, that kind of mistake would crush confidence. Estevão, however, responded with courage. He demanded the ball, ran at defenders, and played with maturity well beyond his years. The highlight came in the 34th minute. After weaving past his marker, Estevão whipped in a precise low cross for Enzo Fernandez to score Chelsea's third. That assist wasn't just important, it was historic. At 18 years and 120 days, Estevão became the youngest Chelsea player ever to record an assist in the Premier League. His numbers told the story. 1 assist, 1 key pass, 2 successful dribbles, 5 duels won, 3 tackles, and 41 touches of the ball. More importantly, his confidence and flair lit up the pitch. By full time, he had been named Man of the Match, a deserved reward for a fearless breakthrough performance. Chelsea may have won 5-1, but the meaning of the night went far deeper than the scoreline. It was proof that this team has depth, youth, and resilience. They can win without Palmer. They can rely on teenagers to deliver historic moments. They can score through open play, set pieces, and collective effort. And that raises the big question: what happens when Palmer returns? When these young stars grow even stronger, and when Chelsea inevitably add more firepower in future transfer windows? One thing is certain: the Premier League will have to get used to a Chelsea not just rediscovering its identity, but shaping itself into a long-term force to be reckoned with.